Hey guys, it's Kelly from Clear Yoga. It's the 30-day yoga challenge, continuing with day 24. We're working to end bare bile farming here at Shared Space. So we're almost done the challenge, 24 out of 30 days, and it's the holiday season. So first, I just want to say thank you to all my students who have come and supported the cause. Thank you so much. The bears appreciate it, Animals Asia appreciates it, I appreciate it, and you're just creating good karma for yourself. So the more you give, the more you get. Thank you so much for your time, your effort, your energy, and your donations. Everything, anything that you have given matters so much. So thank you, thank you. So now we're gonna get ready for our yoga class. I hope you're in your pajamas. I hope you're really comfy and lazy, and I hope your hair is a mess and you just love yourself for it. We're gonna do some strengthening and stretching, some lunges and twists today, just to get our bodies prepared for all the feasting and dancing and all that. So I hope you are ready for some good times on the mat. Haha. All right, guys, come to a comfortable seat on your mat. Sit comfortably however you prefer, and just close your eyes, drawing your awareness inwards. It's the holiday season, there's a lot going on, so we take the time to balance the everything that's going on around us, the constant energy moving. So we come to the mat for stillness. As we move through this class, you can always just choose to listen to my voice to guide you, or you can always look up at the screen for some visual cues as well. So just breathe in here. Observe your breath, observe it flowing in through your nostrils. Down, down, down your throat, deep into your lungs. And just observe the effect that has on your body. And keep breathing deeply. Allowing your belly to rise and fall naturally. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands to heart center, your palms together, allowing your thumbs to draw close to your heart. Observing your heartbeat. Observing where else in your body you can feel that heartbeat. From this center, from this stillness, I invite you to find something that you're grateful for. What are you grateful for? Let's allow this to guide our motions on the mat and our actions off the mat. Take a deep breath in, lots of gratitude in, and exhaling it out, releasing the hands down. Check in with your neck first, keeping your eyes closed. Just start moving your neck a little bit in a natural way. Just listening to what our body has to tell us. Rolling our neck one way, gently, slowly. Rolling it the other way. Go at your own pace. find that one area that's a little tighter than the rest. Maybe giving it a little more attention, a little more love. And your next inhale, lift your head up towards the ceiling. And your next exhale, nod your chin in. Go at your own pace, following your breath. Look to your left, look to your right. Look left, look right, taking your time. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, bring your right hand outside your left knee. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, twist and look behind you. Just a gentle twist to wake up the spine. Pushing our hand into the ground. Breathing one more deep breath in. And exhale, coming back to center, switching sides, opposite hand to opposite knee. Our left hand behind our spine. We inhale and then exhale, twist behind. Breathing in deeply here. Finding the space in our spine, our neck. Exhaling, twisting just a little bit deeper. Take another inhale to come back to center. Bring your legs behind you and come into a tabletop position for a couple of cat-cows. We're going to warm up the spine. Just finding our wrists under our shoulders, knees under our hips. Inhaling up to cat, letting our belly drop down. Exhaling, rounding the spine to cow. Inhaling, coming up for air, belly dropping down. Exhale, rounding the spine. Keep going at your own pace here. Keep breathing. You can always look at the video, but try listening to what your body has to say. Keep breathing in and out. Tuck your back toes under and come into a downward facing dog, pushing down equally in both hands, all of our knuckles. Over time, our heels are dropping down close to the mat. You can pedal out your dog here, just walking it out. Hearing what your body has to say, maybe giving your hips a little sway side to side, coming up on your tiptoes, maybe bending the knees. Always letting the heart fall closer to the knees on our exhale. And when you're ready, slowly take some baby steps up towards your hands. It's going to feel weird. You can bend your knees. Just explore this natural, organic movement in your body. And we'll meet at the front of your mat in a forward fold. And breathe here. Take a big sigh of relief, just because. Maybe nodding the head, shaking the head, exploring the sensations you have here. Maybe grabbing onto the elbows and ragdolling, just hanging out, just hanging. On your next inhale, roll as slow as you can. Roll, roll, roll your way up, all the way up towards the top. Standing, just checking out how we feel, checking with our shoulders, the sensations in our hands and our feet. Bringing our hands, palms facing forward on either sides of our hips. Just glancing up, glancing down. Look at where you are, look at your surroundings. Everything is allowed to be here. Take a deep breath in, bring your arms up overhead, looking at your fingers, and exhale, forward fold. Take a deep breath in, come to halfway lift with a straight back. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot back, bring your knee down to the mat.
Just check with your alignment here that your front knee is on top of your heel. You can choose to be on your fingertips or flat palms on the mat. It's up to you, but whatever is touching the ground, you ground down. Observe the stretch that you feel in your body. Opening the left side. Place your hands flat on the mat. Step back into a plank position, checking that our wrists are directly under our shoulders, and over time always encouraging our hips to come closer to the mat, a nice straight line. Bring your knees to the mat, chest to the mat, chin to the mat, your butt way up in the air. And inhale, come up to cobra, untucking the toes, grounding down in our toes, our hips, our belly. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left foot up and bring it between your hands, dropping the back knee down on the mat. Placing your hands evenly, bearing weight on either side of our front foot. And just breathe, find that breath again, just listening to what our body's telling us. Breathing deeply into that open stretch, taking time to notice. Take another deep breath in and exhale, step towards the front of your mat, meet in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rising all the way up to the top, looking at our hands above and watching our fingers fall down towards our heart in prayer. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back, knee down, placing your palms flat on either side. Finding your stability first, checking in with our alignment. Front knee on top of heel. Inhale, our arms up overhead. And exhale, settling into the pose. Maybe take a slight back bend, nothing crazy. And follow your breath to come back. Exhale your hands back down to the mat. Step back into a plank position. Bring your knees to the mat, chest to the mat, chin to the mat. Inhale, pulling up to cobra, grounding down in our hips. Tuck our toes under and come into a downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot up and bring it between your hands, bringing your left knee down to the mat. Find your stability here first, checking in with our base, our foundation, before we inhale, lifting our hands up overhead. Exhale, settling into the pose. Following your breath, maybe explore a slight back bend, taking it easy, just listening. Following your breath always, exhaling, coming back down, stepping to the front of the mat in a forward fold. Inhale into your spine. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way back up, arms up overhead, looking at our fingers. Exhale, hands to heart center. Checking in with your breath. Inhale, raising your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping your left foot back, keep your knee lifted this time. Checking in with our base that our front knee is directly on top of our heel before we inhale and lift our arms up overhead. Exhale, settling in to the pose. Feeling the stability of our legs and the lightness of our face. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Float your hands back down to the mat. Step back into plank. Find your stability. Bring your knees to the mat, chest to the mat, chin to the mat. Inhale up to cobra. And exhale, come back into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and bring it to the front between your hands, keeping your back knee lifted. Finding your stability first. Working on the foundation. Inhale, lifting our hands up into the air. Keeping the back knee nice and straight. Grounding down in our foot, our toes. Inhaling, lengthening our arms up to the sky. Exhaling, bring our hands back down to the mat. Step forward in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come slowly back up, all the way up to the top, looking at our fingers above. Exhale, bring your hands down to the heart center. Following your breath, inhale, arms up overhead. Take a look at your fingers. Hello, fingers. Watch them fall down, all the way down to the mat in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping your right foot back, keeping your knee lifted. Ground down. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Finding that stability. If we find that we're wobbling, hug your inner thighs together. Hug everything to the center. Exhale, bring your hands this time on either side of your hips, palms facing forward. And just tilt your upper body forward, keeping the base the same. We're just bringing our heart space closer to our front knee in one nice, neat, straight line in our lightning warrior. Grounding down in the base. And inhale, come back up. Bring our hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands all the way flat on the mat. Step back into your plank, always encouraging your hips to come closer to the mat. Bring your knees to the mat, chest to the mat, chin to the mat. Inhale up to cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot up between your hands, keeping your back knee lifted, grounding down in the base evenly, and we inhale our arms up overhead, and exhale, softening into the pose. Doing the same on the other side, we bring our hands on either side of our hips, and we exhale, coming into our lightning warrior, a nice straight line, straight back leg. Breathing into our muscles that support us. Grounding down while we inhale, lift our arms up overhead. And exhale, bring our hands down to the mat, stepping all the way to the front in our forward fold. Following our breath, we inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold, always letting our breath lead our motions. Inhale, coming all the way back up, hands overhead, looking at our hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. With our hands in prayer, we observe our breath, just observe our body. The sensation of our heart beating in our rib cage. Observing the quality of our breath. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into downward facing dog. Just take a moment to pause here in the semi-inversion, allowing all that blood, nutrients, good stuff, oxygen rush to the tops of our crowns, our head. Exhale, pushing our heart closer to our knees. Always following our breath. Inhale, lifting our left foot up into the air and bringing it up between our hands. Exhale, dropping our back knee down to the mat. And bring our awareness to our right hand, bringing it more towards the center of the mat. And inhale, bring your opposite hand up towards the sky. Looking up at our fingers, maybe giving our shoulder blades a little squeeze. Breathing into our backs in this gentle twist. Inhaling, always finding length, guiding our fingers even higher. Exhaling, allowing our hands to come back down to the mat. Step back into downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. Inhale your opposite leg up, bringing it between your hands. Dropping your back knee down. Finding our base before we take our left hand towards the middle, a bit towards the middle of the mat, and inhale our right hand up towards the sky. Looking at our fingertips, perhaps even giving our shoulder blades a little squeeze. And what do you feel here? Exhale, bring your hand back down to the mat. And come back into your downward facing dog. Come up onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, and sit back into a child's pose. Release everything. There's nothing you need to hold on to. Anything physically, emotionally, mentally that you find yourself holding on to, this is your opportunity to just let it go. Inhale and exhale. Slow breathing, slow breaths, just taking the time to listen. On your next inhale, come up to a tabletop position and slowly tuck your toes under. Come back into a downward facing dog. Dropping your heels closer to the mat. Exhaling your heart closer to your knees. Lifting your right foot up and towards the front of the mat between your hands. Inhale your arms up overhead, always grounding down in our foundation. You can choose to stay here. You can bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your heart closer towards your knee and hinge your left elbow outside your right knee. Take a deep breath in. On your next exhale, twist, using your elbow to push against your knee. Breathe here. Inhale to come back to the center, lifting your arms up overhead. And exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Maybe wiping your hands if you're a little sweaty like me. Stepping back into your downward facing dog. Taking your opposite leg up overhead, bring your left foot between your hands. Grounding down in your base. Before we inhale our arms up above, exhale, settling into the pose. Choosing to stay here or bringing our hands to heart center. And bring our right elbow outside our left knee. Finding that traction first. Pushing equally into our palms as we exhale to twist. Finding that we lift our heart space closer to our thumbs. Grounding down in our base and finding the stability in our pose. Inhale your arms back up overhead. And exhale, settle into this pose. Inhale and exhale, bring your hands back down towards the mat. Step back into a downward facing dog. Pedal it out, take your time. Slowly coming to your knees, rocking back, sitting back into a child's pose. Breathing here, letting go. Maybe even bringing your hands behind you to hold onto your feet. a nice little ball of yourself. On your next inhale, bring your hands in front of you and gently pull yourself up to a tabletop position. And slowly straightening your knees, coming into a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. And exhale, bend your knee. In our three-legged dog, over time, we find that our left hip opens up towards the sky a little more, and we can squeeze our heel closer to our glutes. Breathing into our hands and our foot. Exhale, slowly lower the leg back down. And doing the same on the opposite side. Inhale, lifting our right foot up into the air, bending the knee. We bend the knee so much that we could actually see our foot under the opposite armpit. Taking a peek at our toes. Exhale slowly to lower the foot back down. Take a deep breath in. Come into your plank. Finding the stability. Bringing your knees to the mat, chest to the mat, chin to the mat. Take another deep breath in, pulling up to cobra. Finding the stability as we ground down into the mat. Pushing as hard as we can with our hips. Come back up to tabletop and roll back into your child's pose. Take a breather. Inhale, pull yourself back up to a tabletop. Maybe step your hands a little further away from you. Take your right foot towards the outside of your right hand, off the mat, so that both arms are towards the inside of our thigh. And check that your back foot is nice and straight, pointed in line behind you. Grounding down equally in each knuckle in our hands. Hanging out here in our lizard pose. So you have an option to come down onto your elbows, but I encourage you to listen to your body. For me, I'm staying up here on my hands, and that is wonderful for where I'm at today. So know where your edge is at, and always ask yourself, how much is appropriate? For this moment, for today, how much is appropriate? Start to shift your front foot towards the opposite side of your mat, transitioning into a pigeon pose. If you have any knee pain, please bring your heel closer to your groin. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can bring your heel further away. And finding your breath as you settle into this posture. Breathing into the stretch. Always breathing deeply. Always observing without judgment. And exhale. Slowly release your leg. Come back into a tabletop position. Switching legs now. Bring our left foot outside, our left hand off the mat. Stretching our back leg out, toes pointed straight. Finding our lizard pose here. Pressing down equally in our hands. Grounding down in our foot. Trying not to fidget. So just breathe in here. And breathing into the sensations that we feel. Where do you feel that stretch? Heel toe your foot to the opposite side of the mat and come into your pigeon. Again, if you'd like to challenge yourself, bring your heel a little further away from the groin. Bring your shin parallel to the front line of the mat. Or if you have any knee pain or it's a bit much for you, bring your heel closer to the groin. Just listening without judgment where we're at today. And breathe. Take a deep breath in, exhale, slowly come out of the pigeon, swing your back leg out in front of you. Come to a comfortable seated position first, and bring your awareness to your left leg. Line up your shin parallel to the front of the mat, and take your opposite shin and place it directly on top, so we're stacking the shins. So this may be enough sensation for you, or you can always choose to deepen the fire log pose by bringing your heart space closer to your calves, walking our hands out. Over time, sinking lower, perhaps even creating a support for our forehead using our fists, one on top of the other. Breathing in here, just observing without judgment. Any discomfort that you might be feeling, know that you always have the option to soften. Inhale, come back up to center and slowly switch legs. Taking your right shin on the bottom, stacking your left shin directly on top. So again, this may be enough for you. Sit up tall. Or you can choose to slowly hinging at the hips, leading with your heart down towards your calves, walking your hands out to the sides in front of us. Or creating that support with our fists for our forehead. Breathing in. Just observe any sensation. Know that if we are experiencing any sort of discomfort, we can experience discomfort but still feel at ease. Breathing deeply into the stretch, into our muscles. Inhale, come back up to center slowly, observing how you feel as you do. Come to a comfortable seated position. Bring the soles of your feet together out in front of you, diamond legs. So your knees may be off the mat, and that's fine. You can always choose to use blocks to support. But just see how gravity helps you deepen your stretch here. Slowly recline back down onto the mat on your elbows. Maybe even deepening by lowering all the way down to the mat. Check that there's nothing under your head. Nice neutral spine as we settle in to our reclined pose. Over time, feeling that stretch on our inner thighs, deepen, relaxing our knees, dropping them closer to the mat. There's nothing you need to hold on to here in this pose. Deepening your breath. If there was something else that you could soften, what would it be? Physically, emotionally, mentally, maybe even spiritually. When you're ready, inhale, use your hands to bring your knees back to the center. Take your time. With your knees together, give them a little squeeze, just a couple of pulses. Squeeze your knees together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your knees to your heart center for a nice little hug, a knee hug. Massage your back, sway side to side, taking it easy. Take your left hand outside your right knee. Extend your right palm out and let your knees drop towards the left side of the mat. Look at your right hand. Over time, finding that our right ear touches more of the mat. So we just relax in our gentle twist. Observe your breath. Deepening your breath. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Inhale, bring your knees back to center using your hand to help. Taking your right hand outside your left knee, extending your left hand out towards the left. Drop your knees to the right side and look towards the left. If you don't have enough space for your arm, cactus arms are okay. Breathe deeply, your left ear grounding down into the mat. There's nothing you need to hold on to here, so check that you're softening in your hands, relaxing your arms, relaxing your breath. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Inhale, gently guide your knees back towards the center. Holding onto your knees, just guide them around so that you massage your lower spine. Maybe you give them a little hug into your chest, wibble wobble a little side to side. Flex your feet, straighten your toes, flex and point. Make it your own. And exhale, come into Shavasana. Eyes closed. Relaxing the feet, letting them flop out naturally to the side. Palms on either side of your hips, facing up towards the ceiling. Tucking your shoulder blades under your heart space. And breathe. Soften your face here. Coming back to that center of gratitude. What are you grateful for? What makes you smile? So it's Christmas Eve. I encourage you to do one thing today, just for yourself, to make you smile. I want to thank you for joining me today on the mat. Just making time for yourself, to hear yourself, to take care of yourself during this busy holiday season. As you relax everything here, I'll let you drift off in your Shavasana. Take as much time as you need. Always breathing deeply, always observing without judgment, and just smiling when you can. Thank you so much, and namaste.